Peace, family. How's everybody doing tonight? Dr. Ali is in the building and just setting up so we can have our discussion tonight. Thank you for being patient. Got on just a few minutes late, but we're going to get right into the discussion. Hope everybody's doing well. I want to have a really good conversation tonight. And I want to say some things that's going to help any and everybody who is assisting with this case to continue to support, to kind of set a good pace for themselves, and to understand that only with good strategy will the mother, the family, and those of us who are attempting to help in any way that we can help, will we be successful. Emotions will not guide us and get us the victory that we want to get. And I want to say right here at the beginning, why is it even important for us to get a victory? It is important for us to be victorious because the death of Kenneka Jenkins represents something very, very huge. Very huge. We have went over the fact that she was murdered, and so now we want to move into the zone of what is the importance of this particular case and what does the future of this case actually look like. And why is it even important to, in particular, important to so-called African Americans? Why is it important? The unfortunate accident that happened to this young lady is a part of something that is happening in Rosemont and Chicago. And I'm going to show you the proof of that in the laws. I'm also going to tell you, based on two things, that Kenneka Jenkins was found with, I'll say this, because there's two ways I'm going to prove this. Kenneka Jenkins, the allegation by a worker is that a worker at the Cook County Medical Examiner's office, from what I was sent, is that Kenneka Jenkins was found with 3 different types of male sperm, but according to what was discussed in this email, there was a specific reason why the medical examiner avoided using any indication in the report that she was raped, and it has a lot to do with what the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office really represents. And it's something that you're going to have to change in Chicago, because when I read it to you from the ordinances and the codes pertaining to the medical examiner, it's going to blow your mind, and it should be illegal. There's no way that this law should be written down because it's affecting the climate for organ trafficking. And there are parties, private parties and state parties, who are involved, who have the advantage of legislation being on their side. I'll say that. I'll start there. Okay? It's been brought to my attention also that there are people who are or have been studying this case who are saying things about me personally. I don't know these people. For those of you who do know my background, I didn't just start reporting on things happening socially in the community based on our dear sister having the unfortunate death that she had. I have been around for a very long time discussing social justice issues with our people. some of these new people who only have started reporting in respect to social justice issues based on the unfortunate death of Kenneka, they are so ignorant, they don't know the demographic that they're in when they step into this arena. And so they, preclude that me personally, that I came out of nowhere talking about Kenneka Jenkins. So I want to help them, and I'm going to be humble. I'm going to say, it's not your fault that you are that stupid. It's not your fault. Any of the people who might be discussing me, it's not your fault that you're that stupid. The problem is you have never been in any position of leadership or possibly even, some attention getting position, and so you don't know how to handle what's happening around you with people listening to you. You're immature. And so what you need to understand is that we are not here to listen to you, minus the fact that everybody is here to support Kenneka. Because many of you, without Kenneka having this unfortunate accident, no one would even know who you were. So let's be humble and say we're here to help Kenneka. Anything that any of these people have said about me personally, they don't know anything about me. They don't know about my graduation from Temple University and being an athlete there, with them sharing things on Facebook. I have hundreds of people who went to Temple University with me, who played football with me, who know my past. All right. There was one person who shared a video of some brothers wearing fezzes. I don't know how she was associating that with me, but she had pictures in her live that she looked like she had screenshotted of me as if she was investigating me. There's no need to investigate me. You don't know me. For the people who do know me, they know I'm here to help Sister Teresa, Mother Teresa, with this case. And they also know that I'm here to extend my knowledge for everybody who would listen, including yourself, so that we could use it in a teamwork fashion to strive to get this case, in a better position and solved. That's what we're here for. And so I don't have time for that. I know people have been sending me emails of YouTube videos of males and females mentioning my name and saying stuff about me. First of all, none of it is true. All right. Second of all, it's a waste of time. I have no time for that. I did not come to talk about some little sick YouTubers who, they're immature. They're just immature. They're either immature or they are agent provocateurs. They're the cops. And one of the signs that someone is either immature or the cops is they lose focus on why we're here. We're here to talk about Kenneka. We're here to share information. We're here to enlighten each other and exchange the information to get the information at a level that is the best that we can get it, so we can deliver it to her mom or carry it ourselves on some means of justice. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. All right? So, if you are listening, any of you who said those things about me, I'm going to forgive you in advance because you're that ignorant, and I don't have to go through and prove who I am, my alumni card, I don't have to do any of that. If you saw videos of me on YouTube and somebody was lying on me, people slander people all the time. If you're questioning my credentials as a tribal lawyer, as a human rights lawyer, as a naturopath doctor in the community, you're way out of line. I have people's mothers, daughters who I've healed of cancer and a number of other things. So my record speaks for itself. I'm not here to challenge those things, but I did want to clear that up because some people had concern, and so I don't want them to think that I'm avoiding that particular area of conversation. I just don't have to give it a lot of time. Okay? All right. So now, what I want to do now is I want to get into this allegation that I have made that she had 3 types of sperm in her. This allegation came from a worker at the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. So what I'm going to do is they gave me a video of the conversation happening, and they gave me the email explaining to me the inner conversation at the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. Is not a coroner's office, because the coroner operation in Cook County has been suspended for about 7 years. So they call it the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. And this particular person who shared this information with me basically detailed that the reasoning behind the medical examiner office not disclosing the sperm issue is because there was not evidence of forced entry. And so even though she had sperm at the scene inside of her, they chose not to disclose that because of the declaration that it was an accidental death and not foul play. And it's also political, all right? So I'm gonna read that email, and I'm gonna play that video. All right, I'm gonna play that. All right. So now, let me break something down, because I'm gonna show you this. I suspected that there was sperm on her torso, her belly area. I suspected that it was there, and I'm going to show you because I think that is semen on her body. And so we went over yesterday, or the day before yesterday, or whenever, the gruesome death that she experienced. YouTube flagged that video that I did, saying that I shared one thing in it that was private. So if you go back and look at the views, that video was hitting like 80,000 views in one day, but it went down to 300 because they made me try to edit it, and they were messing with it, and they're messing with it. They don't want that video up. So I'm going to go over some of those things again in this video for the record, and I'm going to save it so that I don't have any conflict and that video information is out. But before I do that, I'm going to come over here, and I want to read the Cook County Medical Examiner's rules and regulations so you can understand this point. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office, in my estimation, is the central hub of the organ trafficking operation in Chicago and the surrounding area. And I'm going to tell you how the council in Cook County wrote it into law for the medical examiner to have the ability to take organs without the permission of the families. They're allowed to do that legally. And I'm about to show you the law. All right, give it to me. All right, so yes, they can do this. All right, so you can go to your, I'm going to show you this. I'm at the website, Cook County government or whatever, and then you have the medical examiner here. And so the medical examiner does what? It says our mission is to ensure public health and safety by performing autopsies and post-mortem examinations to determine cause and manner of death for individuals who die in Cook County. The medical examiner's office investigates any human death that falls within all of these areas. All right? Poisoning, drugs, accidental deaths, all of that. So they had jurisdiction over Kenneka's body, this medical examiner. So I'm going to go to the Board of Commissions of Cook County, all right, Chicago, Illinois. You can call them right here, all right. Secretary of the board is Matthew B. DeLeon and Todd Stroger. This was in 2010 when they made these changes that are current and active now. All right, these are not current and active people. They've been moved around. But I want to read you. You can see the Office of Coroner of Cook County was eliminated, and they made it the medical examiner. All right. So let's go down. They have their duties, all right? What they're supposed to do. Listen to this right here. All right, so this is the section I'm going to start reading from, section 3818, death subject to investigation. All right, so the medical examiner shall investigate any human death that falls within any of the following categories. So he just lists everything that they're supposed to investigate. Check this out. This is a law that needs to be repealed. It is unconstitutional. It is a breach of the rights of the deceased and the family, and it is a breach of justice, considering the fact that there have been open investigations in this particular city for being one of the largest cities of trafficking. Listen to what I'm about to read you, and I'm going to read it slow. Where a death has occurred under any of the circumstances enumerated in section 38:118, that's up here, then an investigation, including autopsy, if necessary, shall be conducted, sufficient to establish manner and cause of death, and the medical examiner shall discover and retain any and all evidence for use in the investigation. He or she shall also have the authority to retain such parts of the body as he or she deems necessary in the public interest. Brothers and sisters, that is something that needs to be removed. What they're telling you is that when the medical examiner shows up, the medical examiner has been indemnified. That's a term in law. Basically, she is legally protected, and their deputies, whoever they may be, are legally protected so that if they take an organ from you, your organ, you don't have to be an organ donor. If they take your organ from you, they're protected by the county/city ordinance that allows for them to take your organs. So, with this current local law, we would have to get the law overturned as unconstitutional. We have to sue Cook County and the state of Illinois and the medical examiner, because if not, they can show up at the scene of a crime, take your thymus, and make up some excuse to say, we have the authority based on this particular ordinance, section 38:119. So the city of Chicago, the county of Cook, know that its constituents do not know that they secretly gave the medical examiner the power to take organs. I'm reading directly from their website and the ordinances. I'm not making this up. This is horrendous. So this means if we all found out that Kenneka's thymus is gone, or even a part of her lung is gone, and it comes up that the medical examiner did take it out, they can say, we took it out because we wanted to examine it for blah, 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 blah. This is why the people do not trust corrupt government and organized crime. This is why the people are doing such insane things in society. Because we have people who are so insincere, they will invade the rights, the political rights, the natural rights of the people and their families, and violate them by putting something like this down on paper. All right? So, what I'm saying to you is that this is a problem. Now, I saw somebody who commented and said the thymus shrinks as you get to be an adult. What you need to understand, and I am saying this with 16 years of experience of studying anatomy and physiology. One of the things that you need to understand, I'm not going to stay on this topic, is that the people who are predominantly classified as sub-Saharan African, which most so-called African Americans are, that is not a factual statement for their thymus glands or any of their other glands. That is a statement that does pertain to the genetic pool of Eurasian people of Eurasian genetic descent. And so that lack of maturation of the thymus gland is not a universal standard, and you need to understand human biodiversity before you make such statements. Kenneka's thymus gland was not immature or did not develop because she would have had some type of autoimmune disease or some other issue that would be present. She didn't have it. You can watch her videos. You didn't see her showing signs on her face of jaundice or other liver / thymus / immunity types of, you didn't have that going on, all right? And so y'all need to understand that what I'm saying is the county of Cook in Illinois has gave themselves the autonomy to take people's organs, and I just showed you where it was. All right? And all I'm saying is that the people, we have to do something about it. Now, what I am going to do, which I don't need Miss Martin's permission to do it, but I would ask her, I can do a basic freedom of information to the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office to disclose whether or not in the entry of their investigation that they found sperm in Kenneka. They would have to reveal that information because they are also bound by that in the statutes. They're bound by that in the statutes. All right? What they're also bound by is the fact that they changed from a medical examiner to a coroner because coroners could be removed by the people. So a board appoints the medical examiner, and that board regulates the removal of them, and they set this up because they knew that they could benefit off of organ trafficking in Chicago. If you live in Chicago and you are one of us, melanin dominant people, indigenous people, all right, so-called people of indigenous people, you are in danger because these people